Alright, so yesterday, if you have seen my video, I posted a video where I was playing laser tag. And, after I finished playing, I went to the owner, she's a lady, and I asked her several different questions. And one of the questions I asked her was, how much does everything that I'm seeing here and that you saw in the video with the little setup, the guns, and different machinery, and the program, I said to her, how much does it all cost? And she said, you're looking at $65,000. And instantly, one of the things that I thought about was, if you save $1,000 each month and you have a 5-year contract, which I do, logistics specialist, I would have $60,000, and that's $5,000 away from, having all this equipment and starting my own business, right? And instantly that made me think, maybe in the future, potentially 5 years from now, if I so choose to, I could have a potential laser tag business. But that is not the main point of the video. But the main point of the video that I want to talk to you about is, what is your financial goal when you are joining the military? I believe it's very, very important that you have a clear mind as to what you want to achieve financially in the long term before you join, or maybe while you are in, when you start your military life. What is your goal financially at the end of your contract? What do you want to achieve? So let's say you are 17 years young and you have a 5-year contract. By the time you get out at 22, what are you going to do with $60,000? Do you want to start a business? Or maybe you want to put a down payment on a house? Or, you could invest that money into multiple different ways. I'm not saying investment as in like investment in the stock market, but I'm saying investment as in like invest in a house, invest in a business, in that sense. But let's say you are let's say mid-20s, 25. Now from 25, 5 years later, you're 30 years young, and then you get out $60,000. You're going to spend that money much differently than if you were 17 getting out at 22. But let's say you are much older. You're at your 30s, right? You're 30 to 35, 5 years. If you save $1,000 each month, what are you going to do at 35 with $60,000? Now, everyone's situation is a little bit different. Sometimes you might have a dependent, sometimes you might have a spouse, or whatever the case may be. But if you truly come down to it, I truly do believe, even though you have a dependent, even though you have a spouse, you can save $1,000 each month easily. You just have to be a bigger in the sense of being frugal, compared to somebody who doesn't have a dependent, who doesn't have a spouse. But, what is your financial goal in the long term? What's your financial goal in the long term? That's a question that you seriously need to think about before you join the military, or maybe you are in the military right now. And that is a question you definitely need to ask yourself and answer honestly, because it's extremely important. And what you don't want to do is, you join the military, you're, let's say 25 years young, and you say, man, I'm going to save so much money after deployment, after all this, and 5 years later, I'm going to have all this money, and I'm going to have a lot of options, because money gives you a lot of options, right? And you're 30 years, after 5 years later, you're 30 years young, and you don't have a lot of money in the bank, and you say, man, I just wasted 5 years financially. I haven't gotten anywhere. That's not what you want to do, right? So start to have a goal that's going to drive you each and every single day, whether it is, help your family financially, buy a house for yourself, or maybe buy a house for your family, buy a car, whatever the case may be for you. Start, have that long-term goal set in mind, and make sure you consistently save each and every single month, and educate yourself more and more about finance each and every single day. All right. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great Navy day.